rifles. But I'm worried about Anubis. I'll level with you, Apples. I'm worried about Anubis because they've played it twice this season already with the main roster, with all of their strategies in hand, and they couldn't close it out either of those times. But now that's picked it, and they don't have the full might, this could be, they take this, I think it'll be a 2-0. But, you know, it all starts with the pistol round, doesn't it?
I already see all smiles from Nouns. It's a little bit of a giggle at the front, but TSM Shimmer starting out, all stacked out of B's side. Util flying out to where he's throwing a smoke down, trying to slow him. Playing around this. Oh, and Mad's already up through dark, gonna grab the first kill. Rest of Nouns gonna try and make their way in, but the smoke is a little thick. It's gonna be a bit hard, but they smoke Temple, not Highway. Catalyst trying to find someone, but they take an E-Box, taking B main. Mad's gonna, not find that trade. She does. Alex is down.
This is
headshots.
Lovely crossfire established here from TSM. But the issue is they can just, if there's anything left, they just gotta hold them off the E-Box here.
That 3K from Bungie to end the round. What a beautiful hold from E-Box, using the walls to protect yourself from Nouns and the bomb plant and all those kills. Shimmer gonna have a nice buy this round. Nouns, it's gonna be a little difficult, but it felt like an interesting retake. I don't know if they really went all together or the information wasn't really there, but they weren't swinging at the same time. I feel like Bungie was able to really come out and grab the kills when she needed.
Yeah, they sort of swung one by one there. Julie, I think, falling victim there to jump throws no longer existing. We're still in that transition period, but I think you're right there, peaking one by one, and it was individual moments of prowess there from TSM Shimmer that secured them around, and I think that's going to be what we see a lot of today, given all that we've already discussed about this. Man, I like this getting proactive towards canals.
All of Nouns and CT, though. I really like... Mads is on a very, very long flank, trying to see if anyone is hiding around A. She's not even needed on site. Slowly creeping up, dies, just watching the smoke. Bungie, ooh, with a nice peek at second. Let's see. Alex gonna follow it up. Yuli, that's a nice Mac 10 bonus round for TSM.
I think it was, as you pointed out, Mad's going on that long flank as well, because even if it had just been a little bit of information, it would have opened up the possibility that if they were trying to go for those exit picks, she could have alleviated a lot of that pressure. On the flip side, she doesn't find anything she can communicate over that there is absolutely zilch from behind, so they can focus all of their attention. That they do. The peek round the pillar, they spot all of them, and even though, you know, Bungie only gets the first one there, the fact that she backs away lets the rest of the team pitch on in as well. Just, it comes together, and actually, I was a little bit worried about how Synergy was going to work with this. They seem to be communicating really well, but still early days. They finally have a little bit of a bite to contend with on this one. But actually fairly even on how the weaponry is looking here.
Oh, nice flash. Gonna let Lunari go and grab Die in the front of the pack. Yes, I'm still gonna try their best here. Mad's grabbing a kill through mid. Gonna try and punch their way onto this A site. Justcast with a nice kill on Yuli. But Bungie has made their way onto site. That kill through pool is gonna be great. And now Nouns are effectively shut out of the site. All in Temple, Catalyst at least in CT tons, but it's gonna be a little bit to punch through. Nice flash. Oh, if Catalyst plays this right, she knows that Mads is in heaven. Where he finds one, Ash with the next. Mads, though, is activated. Last one alive. Only Ash to fight through. Same health, but Mads finds a headshot first, and that's gonna be the third round for TSM Shimmer.
I think a lot of what we need to highlight here as well is LX just holding on in mid there as well. Not even really necessarily getting, you know, a high impact frags or whatever, but just holding them at bay, just delaying them, giving the rest of the team enough time to dispatch of Lunari, who they had a little bit of trouble weaseling out of sight there as well. But the fact that they kept somebody mid for as long as they did just to halt the rotates is a good sign. But ooh, we've seen the AWP come out, and actually it's going to be Die that's wielding it.
That was my second guess, just so you know.
I didn't put a guess, so I can just like pretend that that's what I was gonna say all along.
Yeah, that was also you messaged me that. Don't worry. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly.
We just didn't want to tell chat, you know.
No spoilers. We don't want to get timed out of our own stream, you know. But this should be a very run-of-the-mill round for them. Nouns, they've kind of gambled stacked over towards B. They've got a little bit of presence in mid just as like an early warning canary, and I like that. TSM Shimmer, they're going to have a little bit of trouble because there's a nice little angle being held here by E-Box. They've got an iron claw grip on this site. But the utility is going to be what sets them apart here. Ash, maybe if they can get ahead of whatever smoke they throw to try cut her on up, might be able to find a nice kill, but they are just going to sit back, wait, be patient, and let that utility rain. Julie, oh, not even needed there. LX storming the site. Mads finds one of her own. Catalyst is putting up a bit of a hassle for them in the corner, but dispatched of quickly and just Lunari left, and so far removed from the situation that I don't even know what she can do to come back into this.
A deagle, a smoke, a flash, a little bit of armor. This is worth to maybe find a gun, but so far away. That almost could have been a save. Could have grabbed an extra weapon for her teammate, but Nouns now going to finally be able to get a buy round into this. Shimmer have been steamrolling so far. I really like their pacing. It feels rudimentary, but they have been very, very fast the first couple rounds, moving up through the sites, grabbing the kills onto B. But when they had a full buy, they didn't know if Nouns had a full buy that third round or that fourth round that we just saw. So they slowed it down. They made sure that they were checking their corners. They saw maybe they had all stacked onto this site, but Tori, that's an opening pick that you don't miss from Die. 20 health on Tori, but that pop is down. LX gonna pick it up and rotate back to her team. Try and see if she can hold.
Lynn is going to be AWPing today, but just not as the primary AWPer. Unfortunately, that's a missed shot. Just spotted the shoulder. But runs away with their life, and that's important enough as is. They've got plenty of time on the clock. This re-smoke is just going to allow them to crawl on over towards A if they want to. Bomb has been picked up and is moving and schmoving over. And they've got a little bit of a placeholder there in Bungie, just making sure they didn't get too proactive, poking and prodding for that information themselves. So actually, they've been very passive this round now. They've got limited information on where TSM is going to be playing, and that's why rotates. They still haven't been pulled on over. TSM, if they execute quickly, they might have a bit of a window of opportunity to get this plant down quickly.
Playing it very slow. Now the two that are on site are going to get stretched very thin, and both of them gone. TSM have the site. Now they're rotating over, but I don't know if this is going to be an easy retake for them. They have to get a kill pretty soon. They do have a kit on Tori. You can already see one of them walking away. This is going to be safe from Nouns. They have invested so much into this round. They have an op. They have 2 rifles, a lot of utility. It's just, at this point, a little bit far gone for them.
Yeah, they have a single kit available, but, you know, it's on Tori. She's low health. If that goes down, it's problematic. So definitely the right call to save here. And TSM, they've got a free exit path here, wherever they want to go, a ticket to anywhere. And Nouns, they are just going to have to let this 5th round slip away. TSM, they are storming towards Nouns, but time is on their side. Should be able to save all 3 of these weapons, because that's going to be... I say that's going to be all that they have. They've got enough money to cobble together, you know, a couple of SMGs around it. It's not going to be the prettiest buy ever. They are going to either be lacking a bit of weaponry or a little bit of utility. So, actually, no.
This doesn't look too bad at all. It looks all right. It looks okay.
Ash is missing a couple of pieces, but can't really complain on that, can you?
Yeah. I do want to say, I wasn't expecting too much from Bungie, mostly just because I haven't seen too much of her play, except in Cash Cups, but leading the charge alongside with Mads, 8 kills so far on TSM. We've seen her entry frag so much, and every time I think that she's entried, it's always doubled or even tripled. It's just been really good for her so far.
I think that Bungie's also done a little bit of a stint in Valorant as well, from what I saw, at least on the streaming front of things.
What's that game?
The Inferior game.
I don't know that game.
Is the correct answer, but that's not what we're here to discuss. That has been at least keeping up with the shooters, you know, it hasn't been like a complete cold turkey break from shooting stuff in video games. Although it looks a little bit different. This round, the fact that none of these opening picks are going untraded is nice to see from both sides, but it does favor TSM whilst they're on this T side. You lose a player on T side, you've still got a firepower, you know, power in numbers, right? You lose someone on your CT side, suddenly you let a lot of map control slip away. Lunari, talking of map control, up close and personal, but caught with utility out, thrown that Molotov a second earlier, could have been devastating. And suddenly they come piling in from mid, but they've got a smoke grenade ready for that. Jessica ahead of it, however, is going to take down Yuli, going for a bit more, but Dai puts herself on the scoreboard in a big way. Catalyst has an answer, and now it's an AWP-on-AWP battle. Dai not quite sure whether she wants to take that fight just yet. Going to back away and just hold for Ash instead.
Flash and a molly. Ash is trying to figure out, knows where that first player is. No, oh, saw Mads' head. Dai's just holding it down, trusting in Mads. Oh, what a nice shot. TSM grabbing their 6th round, and that was the closest Nouns had gotten it. But the thing is that Bungie, I feel like, kept them interested in B for just far too long. If they had rotated just a little bit earlier, Bungie was sitting in E-box, threw a nade at a smoke, I think shot just a little bit, and that kept them on B. That kept 3 players there. It kept, it was Lunari in A main alone, and when she was taken out, that was the site free. If Nouns just maybe a little bit not as spread out as they were, I guess spread thin, really.
Yeah,
really
leaving Lunari there with no support anywhere else on the site is a little bit of a faux pas, I think, because she goes down and then there's no tradability whatsoever. You can't even try to stem the bleeding there. You lose a player, you get the information that the site's going to fall, but then you're now 2 players down with a retake on your hands. But, you know, maybe
even having someone in camera, you know, like just like sitting watching mid, because no one had eyes on mid either. I think we had one person back temple, but they were still watching B main. That's game theory. You don't need to talk about that.
Exactly.
Nice flash to go check out B main. Nouns gonna take an aggressive approach here. I was just trying to hide behind this. Oh, I like this high-low as well. Ashy taking care of Mads, and that's the bomb technically dropped, but still retrievable. Lunari following it up with another frag of her own. Molly's gonna stop them from walking too far, and TSM gonna slow it down just a bit. Group up, see what they can make of this round.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be difficult to scrap together something on this round. They're heading over towards main, but the thing is, now they've just reinforced B. And that's going to cause some problems because unless Judy can alleviate some of the pressure here, with the smoke coming off, she can't even help pincer that site now. So it is just going to be reliant on hoping that maybe Nouns get a little bit too antsy and make a move. Now they've just got to sit. Actually, Julie working their way through sight, but the issue is, can cut off the rotate, might just get cut off herself by those 2B players when they rotate. And unfortunately, Tori double kill, doubles down, and that's both LX and Dai dead. And Julie is going to find one, but her location is known, and she's going to be battling on all fronts. However, she's not allowed to fight for long. Bullet straight to the chest. And now they do secure themselves a 1st round. Very important to get it done. I am slightly worried that this is coming in a bit too late. They need to build more off of this because their economy is still not going to be in a great place even with the win. But TSM Shimmer, this is, you know, the way that their economy sat right now is that they lose this. They've got enough in them to kind of scrap together a buy after this. It's not going to be perfect. And then after that, they're, you know, on max loss bonus. So they're set on the money front for quite a bit of this remaining half, even if everything goes wrong.
Shmoney. Yeah, I like what Nouns said last round. That early aggression, kind of picking TSM players off. I feel like TSM, what we see a lot from them is players going for hero plays when it's not needed. When they need to kind of stick together, play a little bit more as a team. But that round could be a little bit of an eye-opener for them. I mean, eye-opener, I say. It's the first round that they've lost in 7. It's not even their map pick. either.
It's information at the end of the day, isn't it? They can figure out what went wrong, what they've been doing right for 6 rounds in a row, and then what variable changed. Julie, lovely opening pick. The aggression is perfect. Mad's late lurk there in towards mid, trying to cut off the rotates, and even though she goes down, Ash is now walking dead. And they've got the information that they don't even need to divert their attention over towards canals right now. They only have to focus on these entrances from mid. And LX has both of them. Goes for a bit more. Catalyst is going to punish that greed, however. But now is the only one left. And I'd be looking to save and get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, it's looking like a save. And that op's going to be very, very vital for them. And we haven't seen it really pop off too recently. Or at least not yet. We haven't had a Catalyst off round. And I feel like we see those a lot. Now, Nouns, their money not looking too bad. Tori could go with an MP9, but that's not ideal when you're playing against AKs. Just these openings from TSM. You said that they were going to be pugging it out, but I just feel like they're out-aiming them, out-gunning them. The flashes have been perfect into A main. Nouns have not been able to really utilize their utility in a way that slows TSM down, slows the headshots, slows the kills, and that one round that they were able to get against them, it was when they got aggressive, and Jesscast going aggressive, but it's just alone. Do like this lurk here from Ash. Doesn't get spot out. I don't know if LX sees, but the gunshots are going to make her pop back. Get back to their team.
I think there's a bit of a fine line between aggression and what we just saw, because as you said, completely unsupported by the team, and then disrespected to smoke so early into a round where it's actually fairly typical for someone to be waiting the other side of it, at least in the early stages. Ash biting off a little bit more than she can chew there. Spots 3 guns and still tries to go for a kill. The smoke is going to put a little bit of distance between them and make them peel away a bit here. But I think, as you said, it's not necessarily that they have the greatest strat book. They're just out-aiming, and they're running fairly default strategies here. We've not seen anything particularly interesting come out for them, albeit it is on the T side. So it's not always necessarily as apparent if they're running something interesting early on. Ash ready and waiting. Ooh, double take, spotted the first, having to go for a little bit more there. They've got her pinned down, but it's all a bait and switch because Lynn from behind takes her on down. And Bungie, I thought, could have found something there, but just finds a bullet. Julie trying to push onto this site. They've managed to force back that AWP, but all it's done is reposition it into a different fight with her.
Die all alone with the AWP. 3 players. I mean, our team has warmed them up just a little bit. Nice flash, but it's not going to do anything as Catalyst finds the last one.
That's a nice second round. I think that it's been a little bit back and forth with them. I would have liked to see them piece the rounds together consecutively a bit more. But it means that they put themselves in a position, and actually, you know what, I'll say it. That was a fairly nicely won round there. A little bit expensive, and at the start, I think maybe a couple of mistakes, and I got worried that it could have slipped through their fingers, but the recovery, absolutely impeccable. The fact that even though they were displaced from every single angle they looked to go for and still managed to find their way into this all is looking very nice. Early aggression from both sides is going to favor neither of them really, as both lose a player. But Yuli, that's going to be the difference maker. Tori wanting to try find that kill to set them apart is only going to give away the advantage.
I feel like TSM is really forcing Nouns to take this in a much faster pace than they're comfortable with. They are getting very aggressive early on, and the couple rounds that I think that TSM slowed it down, Nouns were very confused about their placement, and they weren't pushing out to go get information because they were afraid of getting killed. Now, it's a very hard retake. If Catalyst finds one here, definitely, that's going to be Mads and the rest of them. An E-box. Bungie just holding on for dear life. Does get traded out. LX finds Catalyst. The op is gone. Now it's just all down to Lunari. And she does have an M4. Wants to save that. Yuli not going to allow it.
that round would have been, I think, a lot more up for contest if that Molotov hadn't been blocking her out of connector there. Because that Molotov slows her down because it's spread throughout the whole of connector, she can't even have a look onto site to try find that pick. And because TSM Shimmer know this, they play further back, they wait out the Molotov, and suddenly the timer on the bomb, even if she had managed to find the kills, wouldn't have been able to get through the fire in time to defuse. Just beautifully played towards the end there. And TSM, they bite right back. They're not going to let Nouns piece together a single string of rounds here. And it's very well done from them. They're forced onto pistols so that they can afford anything in the last round. That's finds the opening pick. They do have to be careful with the overwhelming power, but they're peeking one by one. We've seen Nouns. They fall victim to this all the time. We saw it in the first pistol round. We're seeing it here when they're running pistols themselves, but they've scooped up an AK, and that needs to be the difference maker. Jessica, distracted by a player, gets jumped on by Yuli, and Bungie's going to find a little bit of a pick here as well. And now Lunari, she's picked up the AK, can't even find any use from it.
Yeah, I like the idea there from Nouns, though. The 3 push through from B main, and then I think 2 were hiding really close to the smoke. A main at least tried their best to kind of fake out a full rush, but only 1 AK picked up for Nouns. It's going to be a hard last half, or I guess last round of the half here for them. TSM, it's going to be very brutal if they're able to get 10. It's going to be hard to come back, but they are going to be switching on to T side. If they get that pistol, could be a little bit easier to get a higher round differential, but just see how hungry TSM are. They're going hunting, and that's the AK lost.
After time as well, that one's painful. That is everything that could have gone wrong there going wrong. But you're right, 10 would be a really bad situation here. And they've got the AWP on Catalyst, who's been fairly decent with it. Maybe not as much impact. We've seen the frags. I'd like to see a bit more impact from those frags, maybe, if that makes any semblance of sense. But TSM, if they find a 10th, even going on to this CT side, they seem cohesive. And it looks like 10 is exactly what they want. Catalyst, we talked about impact. You heard us yapping. Goes for a bit more, toying with the corner. Finds Bungie, and single-handedly, the round might be won off the back of this. But the timing from Lynn there, she slips through the cracks, unsuspecting, gets the pick onto Catalyst, and Lunari left alive as the last one. Once again, can she find something in this final half? You'd hope so. She can hear the stomping. She can hear the plant. She's going to disrespect the smoke.
Pushing through, both of them taking E-box. Lynn holding this with the op. Trying to find these angles, but the op is quicker with it. TSM going to go into the second half, 10-2. We'll be right back after this break.
10-2 blink and you miss it. This is not what we were expecting to come out from either side, especially on Nouns' map pick. But this pistol round so important if they want to keep themselves in the running to try keep their map pick under control. TSM, they've got the Julies and they are loaded up on the weapons to try kick it off with a bang.
So much hangs on the balance of this round. Who is going to see each other first? I think it's going to be Mads. Maybe you have to take someone in mid. Oh, falls off. It's going to get that information over to her team as the rest of Nouns are going to start filing in through camera. A little bit of damage done. Nice taps from Mads. First shot, but does get traded up by Ash. Bungie sitting in the smoke. Does get taken by Lunari. That's going to be the A site. All down to Nouns, and TSM though, quick on the rotate, sitting in A main. It's 4 guns here, and 1 smoke holding them off.
That smoke is doing so much heavy lifting, but on the flip side, Die has done so much as well. Die alleviated all of the pressure whilst the team waits, and suddenly the kill feed's all blue, and the rest of the defense is dead. So that's a round that's happened. We talked about this being must-win for Nouns. It was looking so good. And the smoke to cover the entrance from Canal, you know, everything coming up then. But it's just a matter of Die finding that little glimmer of excellence to just crack everything open there. Single-handedly allows those players from Canal to come in and help them out there. Magnificent.
Yeah, magnificent is one word. Crazy is another. What is going on is a third. TSM Shimmer, I guess, can't be stopped. Nouns trying their best. Try to run into the site. LX, nice first kill, but oh my gosh, the Galil is too strong. Die at least gonna try and get a double. Callous with this. Now already a 2v2.
I love the position Mads has got herself into there because they don't expect to have got through because I don't think she'd quite been spotted, but there we go. She's now known. She jumps around the corner, hurling herself over the long-range MP9. Can it get it done in the last couple of bullets? Just taps out Lunari as she tries to escape. And a 12. This is something. Nouns should be winning these rounds. That's what's so confusing and, dare I say, frustrating, actually, is that at no point did the first 30 seconds of that round lead me to believe that TSM Shimmer should have won that. But they do. And it's just incredible.
Like, my mouth is open. I am just wide-eyed curious. I mean, this was a perfect entry into the site, even though LX did take it, but the positioning from Shimmer, it's perfect, and it's so puggy is the best word to say it. I mean, they're not afraid to go in and get aggressive against them, and I feel like Nouns is just afraid of this. They're afraid to really jump into this mix because of how much aggression TSM have shown them in their first half when they were on that T side. Like, look at this. Bungie does get punished for that. LX is close, does get the information, but this positioning from LX is perfect. They're not going to expect her there.
They are not. Backs turned. That's only good for 1, but distracted, knowing that there was still a player looming up above her. Ash takes her on down, and now suddenly they have all of the Canal's control, but they don't really have a foothold towards either of the sites just yet. It looks like they're sending Die hunting just to clear out this space. And I think they're going to clear the whole of B clear, so suddenly Mads has got to be on high alert. She knows that the cavalry is coming.
Yeah, no util from her, but does have a FAMAS.
Look at the flank, though. This is... They could just single-handedly bamboozle Nouns from behind.
Not from behind. At least Matt's going to get the first from the front. Ash does trade that out. Die, though, quick on this flank, just like you said. Doubled up, both side. Both here. Tori going to try and go and check into camera, grab this mid push, but no one's there to really connect. Nice flash onto site. Ash playing back on K. Information from 1.
It's going to be a difficult one because they've not quite managed to flush out Ash, and there she is. Die gets the first nose, as the second has to reload, jumping on top.
Whoa,
what on earth was that?
Whoa. That's That's
You
the
can tell
game.
she's happy.
That's the win. That's TSM Shimmer taking the first map on Anubis, not their map pick. We were confused about what was going to come out, but it's them. It's them on top. 13-2 and a rough loss for Nouns.
Rough loss is a little bit of an understatement. You can tell the TSM Shimmer are happy with themselves, though. And coming into this probably with so much confusion and doubt and things they didn't even think they needed to look at. I am with you there. I think that is hopefully exactly what we're going to be seeing as well as we head over to the dusty plains that is Mirage. And it's going to be a banger match, that's for sure.
And I'm going to predict that Shimmer is starting on CT. This is Nouns' map, not map. Oh, actually, I'm so wrong. Nouns is starting CT because it's Shimmer's map pick. TSM are going to be able to, I guess, get access to rifles and AKs a little bit earlier, which makes me nervous. Just depends on how this pistol round goes. Mads poking and prodding out in mid, getting information for her team as two are lurking up from underpass. Jesscast does take care of Mads, so that top mid isn't going to be too aggressive. They slip right through.
They do, and they heard the jumping in jungle as well. Bungie has to be careful about Lunari here. But that's the thing is, Bungie peeks out to go have a little bit of a look at one of the players on ticket booth, just completely ignores Lunari, eventually does dispatch of her, loses her life in the proceeds. Julie trying to bait out the fight. They now know it's a fake, so they are just going to swarm her. And unfortunately, out of bullets, out of HP. And now Zeffy, they win a pistol round and already off to a better start here.
Yeah, a great start for them. This is going to get them access to the weaponry, the utility that they need. And Shimmer, unfortunately, it feels like it's a much bigger map. Obviously, it's Mirage, so there aren't many ways you can be punchy out onto a site like you can on Anubis. There's a lot more tight quarters on Anubis that you can kind of stick people through. And Mirage being a little bit more open, maybe they just aren't quite used to it yet as a team together. But it is just the second round. One flash on Yuli, and that's going to be a Palace pop. And there's only one player on Nouns here. It's Catalyst. It's okay. They're rotating on. They got two people here.
That's good. That's good. That's a little bit better. Jessica's is very focused on this connector, however, so I will hopefully be seeing her redirect her attention. They are trying to drag this out as well, trying to make Nouns uncomfortable, but the thing is they've heard nothing over towards B whatsoever, and of course Tori's not spotted anything jumping up on Van there, so they have to know it's over towards A, surely, but actually just decided to put all of their eggs in the mid basket here.
Just gonna let them rotate pretty quickly.
What are TSM waiting for is my question. Are they waiting to go? I was going to say waiting for the minute mark, but the minute mark's now passed. Are they waiting for, last 20 seconds? Try overwhelm, just get that bomb down and pray?
Yeah, but even then you're like really questioning if you're able to kill everyone here. But you can see two players rotated out. Only one player that got flashed and now died. Gonna get the plant. CT almost going down.
Oh, Jessica. She's just allowed to farm there. They're not exactly playing together. They send Lynn on her own. And Jessica's with the A1S is just going to farm up, especially with that lower HP. Not even any real resistance on the post plant there. I think maybe a little bit of a weird round there from TSM. Waiting so long and then not playing together. I would have loved to see them all run ticket booth and just take over CT. I think might have been a better play.
That would have at least killed Catalyst a little bit earlier. Would have given them at least a scout to use in CT. But this was just a messy kill. Just guess though. Coming through CT with a nice 2K. Nouns, playing the CT side like they need to. Good 2 rounds from them. Not dropping too many players yet. Ooh, good trade though. Gonna be Die trading it out. Mari, quick trades actually. Now already down to a 2v3. TSM losing a lot of their players just in this opening mid fight. Not gonna be spelling too much greatness. Flashing through connector. Ooh, Jessica is on 3 health. Be an easy one to take out, but Catalyst with this scout is not gonna be stoppable.
I've been seeing the scout a lot recently, actually. It's just
fun.
It keeps appearing. I quite like it. I think it's fun. It's a little interesting. It's a cheap budget option as well whilst you're trying to save up for that AWP. Bungie, so much to do here. Has actually been awarded a lot of space. Has to be very wary because back turns connector or to that B site. They have just let her catch a nice little timing that I say that back spotted. That's going to be her having to scurry on quickly to site. Only really Tori here to defend, and with Tori taken down, has so much more room to work with. Bomb on back, but has to plant, and unfortunately already reinforcements on the way, but Jessica's low health there as well. Flashbang just going to force her on back. She's trying to find a bit of a window to plant, and they are just going to let her get away with it.
Big nade both coming out of window. First headshot found. Jessica has 3 health, and it's not going to be anything. TSM and Bungie. What a save. What a clutch 1v3 for her. Just quick and snappy. Those headshots are crispy, and this is what we were afraid of. We were afraid of TSM getting a hold of these AKs too early. And I feel like Nouns have a rude awakening. They did get their first 2. They have a little bit of padding for CT, but the round differential, if it gets a little bit too hasty, it's going to be hard for them.
I think this is what we talked about on map number 1 as well, is there's so many instances of Nouns peaking 1 by 1, and in situations like that, especially when one of your players is low HP, you really need to be playing together because you can't afford to let her isolate those 1v1s, because exactly what you saw happens in that situation. TSM, I think it's the easy route out to say that maybe just mechanically a little bit quicker and a little bit hotter on the trigger today, but that's what we're seeing. And case in point, Dyke just walks through the smoke, gets 2. Bungie decides to throw her name into that as well, and now Catalyst with the scout. What can you even do from this angle with the scout? You can try pincer them here. If Tori can get the kill on Bungie, and that was a big if anyway. Mads the contingency from behind. It's puggy, and they're just mechanically on point today.
That could have been a knife. I'm a little disappointed.
Same. So, having words with Mads after this, where was the knife?
Yeah. What the heck? Come on, Mads. That's what we were expecting from you. But yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. And I feel like Dai is popping off a lot so far this map, a little bit earlier than we saw her last. She did have a little bit of a slow start on Anubis, but her AK shots have just been on point. The trades on top mid for her have been perfect, and great placement for her so far. And now a little bit of util for TSM. Gonna at least try and force a couple players off of mid. You have to know that Nouns is on a bit of an eco. Lots of early damage and a kill onto Yuli. That's the back apps player, but LX has already made her way into market, grabbing Tori.
See, that's the thing. It was a really nice fake, and it did its job. It distracted the attention, and they managed to get the opening pick and roll. But the issue that they now have is that they weren't quite expecting as much force as they had over on A. And when you're playing mid, it's so easy to, rotate. That's part of why mid control is important. It just means that once they've got A, they can plant the bomb and crunch down on those mid players, knowing that they've got a little bit of pressure from B as well, that the attention is distracted. And TSM Shimmer, they take the lead right back immediately.
It's like TSM is poking so many holes in the Nouns defense and finding where they're not watching, or even just wide swinging them. Like that window peek at the end of last round that got them the round win. Like, it just feels almost ridiculous. And Jessica's trying to do the same here. Trying to get that wide swing top mid, but it's just not there. She's alone, and she had 2 players there against that were just a little bit too aggressive. And now just Tori left alone with the FAMAS on B site is going to get hunted, and Mads is going to take that for her. Nice headshot. 4 health to Mads' name. It's like this team is untouchable, except for just the pistol round and the save.
It's like they're immortal, you're right, because they go hurling up mid, and they just find every single one of the kills. And I like, how do you counter death for Nouns? How do you counter instant death?
Counter instant death. Flashbangs. Lots of flashbangs.
But that's the thing, they're ahead of all of the flashes. That's what's terrifying. It's like, you're like, okay, instant death, counter the flashbang, but what do you do when you throw the flashbang and it doesn't affect them because it's behind them? Because they've decided, you know what, mid, that's ours. You stick a flag in it, ours for the taking.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Nouns. They haven't been able to find the pacing to get equal with TSM. It feels like they're playing on like half pacing, but oh, a nice eagle shot to open it up from Ash.
Can she find a little bit more here? Yes,
Oh
she
yeah,
can.
she can.
That's beautiful, and already done more than enough because she's brought her teammates the chance to go around the world. They've cleared it out. Actually, Lunari going to be very important here. If she can take down Bungie, which unfortunately she can't, and that's it. In a matter of seconds, TSM, we've talked about individual brilliance and everything that looked so perfect for Nouns in a second snatched away from them. And Bungie, that's going to be the nail in the coffin. It looked so good for Nouns, and this is the tale that we've been speaking all series about. Is that they get two beautiful opening shots there. They've cleared so much space to run on through CT, to crunch round on apps, to eliminate this B push. And just Die gets a multi-kill. Lin gets a kill here as well. It's crazy.
I'm like mouth open, agape, confused, happy, excited. Feeling good for TSM so far because I don't know if they went into this expecting much other than a fun match with some players that they used to play with, or and they came into this and they were like, all right, we're gonna win because we feel like we can. Like, what is the headspace that they're in? What were they expecting from this? Yeah,
that's the
it's
headspace
winning.
they're in.
It's the confidence. They're like, we're better than them. We can definitely take this. I mean, Nouns took their first series win, but it was against the team right now that is in the lowest part of the standings. They lost the next two series. Nouns have not looked as strong as they did in Season 5, unfortunately. And TSM, they're looking to exploit that, and it's working for them. And with two stand-ins, and I'm calling them stand-ins, but they're more than stand-ins. They are industry giants. Like, crazy call for them to add these two on, and it's worked out for them so far. Nari gonna get at least one before Die trades her out. Newest opper, and it's working great for her.
I wanted to just have a quick look because you said that they've struggled after that first game versus Aware. They haven't actually got double digits in a map since then. So hopefully they can try change the tune on this. And this is the way to start going about doing it. That's lovely. They're just running them on down. And actually just disalign the bomb plant as well, which I say that it stops them getting the money. It's not exactly like they need it.
Yeah, good round take from Nouns. They definitely need this.
That's a lovely shot from Catalyst.
Yeah, that's a nice wall bang from Catalyst. I mean, that's what we need. We need the confidence from Nouns that they're like, all right, I think they're here. Let's start shooting. I feel like they've been paralyzed almost sometimes, and maybe hopefully this round that they just won will activate them into something a little bit different.
This is smart because they've conditioned Nouns. They keep going underpass to crunch mid, and they send Catalyst there, and that's the early pick that they need, and it's actually a double kill. Dice found something as an answer here, but actually Nouns, they've lost the sight, and now they've lost the advantage that they had as well. And it looks so good, and it was such a beautiful read to send Catalyst down early, but unfortunately it kind of comes up a little bit moot. But if they can find some more, I say that it's beautiful. The two of them playing together has been so important. The wide swing from Bungie there as well, knowing that the AWP had to have rotated somewhere from mid. And Jessica's last left alive, and this is such a difficult fight. The Molotov is going to help buy her a little bit of space and stop them peeking into this. The issue is she's got no idea that both are there.
Is she gonna go for this? I mean, it feels like she's going back and forth, but now that the bomb, 10-second timer, just trying to find a head, trying to find someone that she can take out of, disrupt the economy of TSM. Not gonna find much, and it's gonna be both of them staying alive. Op picked back up, and we gotta talk about this opening. This was a great opening from Catalyst, but I don't know if you saw, there was someone sitting behind her in window waiting for the tray. I think it was Ash. And maybe if she had not done that, maybe rotated a little bit earlier once she got that first op shot, maybe, I don't think she needed that backup. That would have had another person on A site, would have had someone to maybe counteract Die. Would have been possibly a round win for Nouns.
The other thing that I absolutely loved at the end of that round is Mads throwing the nade top mid. Just in case someone had been tagged down by the bomb and trying to take away that final weapon. And, you know, it's an HE grenade. It's a little bit of utility. They've got the money to expend, but I like that they are thinking about this as well. And no mercy. However, talking of mercy, Nouns have bought themselves a little bit with this opening pick, but we've talked time and time again about how that really hasn't meant necessarily a whole deal to TSM. But suddenly, they're looking a lot stronger on this.
Yes, it doesn't, but can you see? Look at Bungie, 16 kills so far.
Holy moly.
It's the 10th round. Next up is Die with 8. Like,
Ooh.
what is going on here? But Mads with a nice pick. That's going to be the bomb, possibly moving its way on over to B. But Tori is going to be someone that they're going to have to make their way through. Already finding one, and Die getting proactive with the op. Left alone in apps as Lunari takes away. It's going to be Tori. That's a great B-side anchor for them, and that's an op picked up for Catalyst as well.
Very nicely done there from the side of Nouns. That was one that they really wanted to win because they're just trying to keep it even. This is technically the favored half as well, and they're still down. 2 more needed. Going 6-6 at the half is far from ideal, especially with what we've seen coming out from TSM. But I like this as well. They kept their nerve. They didn't get too aggressive on this one. And I think that's... We talked about how we'd love to see them get aggressive and confident. It hasn't been working, so I think them switching up and being a little bit more passive and making TSM play into them worked. And now we've got the double orbs coming out. Where the TSM expects this is another matter. Actually, Ash was going to have a look through mid, but has the commotion going on in apartment, so is redirected. Ooh. Lovely kill.
Big nade. Huge nade. Okay. The Nouns have invested a lot into this round, yes. 2 up setup, and both of them right now are sitting on B. Now we are going to get a rotate. Lunari does jump spot and see a couple players and the bomb onto A. The reinforcements are on their way, but is it too late? Now, Catalyst is going to have an eyesight into sight, but the bomb is going to go down without any aggression from Nouns yet. And it's going to be TSM getting the first aggression. Does get traded out. Bungie is down 3 coming in from CT. I do like that Tori is on cap. Does take care of Yuli. Yeah, just 2 players left from TSM.
This is a problem as well because you've got that sniper rifle in Ticket Booth that you can just train on Mads. The thing is, doesn't really matter when Die is picking you apart piece by piece. They're just going to stand in smoke, but they've forgotten where they've planted. And suddenly, a ninja defuse, and it's just going to be able to get away, as well as an extra kill on top. And TSM, several fumbles there.
Affinity, I feel like whenever we cast together, we have maps that are just outrageous. The last time that we casted together was the old TSM Shimmer roster playing on Nuke against what was Team Karma. I don't know if you remember anything about that.
I remember that it was a weird map. My brain is sort of like Freudian filtered it out. It was so stressful what was going on.
Because it was just empathy running around, right?
I mean, that is the story of what old TSM Shimmer was like. This is lovely. Actually burning alive a little bit there, but Jummy's managed to find a Molotov kill and 2 frags, and suddenly final round at the half is looking dire, and Die is going aggressive. They've not even wanting to be let the CT lie. They've been going aggressive. Unfortunately, the boost is dismantled there. Julie finds one. And that's the thing, is they've got this Ticket Booth control. They've whittled down where Ash must be. She's putting up a brilliant final stand here, and Julie is low to 2v1, stomping around, but that timer, it's running out. Time is not her friend, and even with a kit, it's starting to wear thin. Gets the first kill, spins around, knows where the last is, but can she get mad? No, she can't. It's a 5-7 half, and TSM, they are on the front foot once more going into the second half. up at the half, up at the frag department, and up to win this series. TSM Shimmer, it was looking shaky coming into this, but they have been nothing if not dominant. Now a pistol round. Nouns, they took the first. We really need to see them take a second, but it's Die to take the opening pick.
Yeah, great shot from her. Is going to get a lot of information over to her team. Moving up Cat. Yuli hiding Van. I really like this position for her. Could at least take care of someone in apartments, but LX is going to take care of that for her. Everyone is on site. It is a full retake, but the bomb's not even planted. Jesscat's just looking unfortunately lost, and Yuli's going to take care of it at the end. And what a pistol round from TSM. If Nouns had gotten that, I would have been a little bit more nervous for them, but without a bomb plant, the money is not great for Nouns, and it's going to start getting dire here.
Exactly. I think something I really want to highlight on this round is the fact that Yuli tucked in Van because no one's really gone apartments. They've not rushed apartments. They've not flushed her out, right? And so she's there if they need her. And the fact that LX from behind deals with apartments means that she is an unknown entity and she remains anonymous so that she can just pop out and ruin the round if it gets to that point if they need to later. Just allowing her to stay silent and cloaked is awesome. Nouns, they are going to stack the tunnel, and I think if someone jumps down, an unfortunate fate awaits them, and unfortunately, Die, I think, maybe having a toy with the idea. It's going to be mad. She spots the first, and that's the boost, kind of dismantled, takes down the first. Die's getting ready for the onslaught. She's jumping up, but decides that maybe not the cold zero jumping approach is how she wants to take this round. But she calls it over to the teammates, and she gets everyone ready. Lynn taking that advanced position in apartments, waiting for them. Hiding, tucking around the corner so she can jump out and hopefully just spray them on down.
A lot of money looking to be made here from Lynn with an SMG. If she's able to get at least a couple. Flash from her teammate on Yuli. That's going to be one. A second, a third, almost a fourth. Ash, last one there, is going to take that refrag, but Yuli trying to take care of this. Find the last player on Nouns, and they were able to take care of 2 players. That's 2 guns they'll have to rebuy on TSM.
And look at Bungie. There's no escape here.
You cannot go anywhere. Look at Bungie so close to her screen. She's like smelling Ash right now.
That's, yeah, Ash. You can tell she's running left, she's running right, she's having a look. She knows that there's nowhere to go here but 6 feet under. And TSM, that's a 9th. I don't have... I'm running out of words to describe how awesome these rounds have been. And yes, they've been... This round was against an eco, but the fact that Lynn is able to get away with daylight robbery there, just 3, is impeccable. The fact that they're not letting Nouns FE find even an inch here.
I mean, it was also that team flash, and while it is small, but Yuli being there at the position that she needs to be to help her out, and Die taking a very aggressive position there in apartments. Tori is going to take care of that burst frag, and they're not going to act on it. They're just going to take that body. Gonna throw a little bit of a molly, a bit of util back and forth, but 2 players from Nouns sitting back in apartments just to keep that space from them. Yuli pushing out, grabbing a kill up in mid, but Nouns have a lot of space here, but they have no space that really enters them into a site yet.
Yeah, that's the important part, is space is all well and good, and we talk about map control, but if you don't have map control anywhere that lets you get to where you want to be in the map, that's the issue, because the win condition lies in the bomb sites. It definitely does not lie with Tori losing their life here. Lynn going for a little bit more. Actually, it's a lot of damage, and with Yuli on the FAMAS, that's quite important. The issue is she's being surrounded here. She needs her teammates in to come and alleviate the pressure. Turns out she really doesn't. She can get it done on her own. And now suddenly Mads is on site to close this one out and put double digits on the board for them. And Nouns... They need to double their rounds to even tie this up. I'm worrying, Apples. This is looking kind of weak, and I try to be nice, and I'm trying to put a positive spin on this. They're doing better than last map, but this half is just being them sort of being stepped on here.
We're seeing a new body for TSM Shimmer. I feel like we saw them a little bit weaker they did win a couple series, but it just didn't feel as spirited as we've seen them these last 2 maps. And it's worked out for them. Not winning this map completely yet. I'm not trying to spoil anything, and I don't know if they won it yet. Sorry. But it just feels like there's no space for Nouns to really shine yet. Like, TSM's taking every single spot that they can, and they're on the flanks. And while Nouns, Catalyst, and Ash, and Lunari, they've been getting some really good shots, but they haven't been impactful. They haven't been winning a round. This bomb plant's going to be really, really good for them. It's going to get them a lot of money, but it's all how they play this post plant. Ash moving through the smoke, disrespecting that perfectly, but Yuli with a nice trade frag. Just pushing through. That's the aggression. This is the confidence that we need from Nouns. Now going to have Connector. Guy in LX knows exactly where they are. No utility to their name.
I like this. They bait out the shot there and make sure that they have 2. Because I think initially they looked to just try stick the plant and have, you know, Die as a bodyguard there. But the fact that they bait both of them out there by the defuse. And Nouns, I would have loved to see them just sit and wait a little bit longer on that one, but...
They're getting antsy. They want that win.
These rounds are... So often, it looks like TSM Shimmer should be down and out. In any other series, we would look at what happens at the start of the round, and that bomb plant, that post plant, looked so good. They just ran on down, and that's the confidence that we want to see. But every single time that TSM is at a disadvantage, I don't know whether it's Nouns giving something up or just TSM being incredible. They just aren't conceding anything.
It's like the knowledge of knowing when to be confident and when to not be confident is really what is, I guess, the ceiling here. That is a nice confident ping from Catalyst. I really like that. Isn't going to fall back. Still going to hold a very aggressive angle. Bungie having a bit of work to do on this A site. 2 players here. Just going to get mollied out, but still hiding away, waiting for Mads to come and help her.
I love this utility. They've just forced them straight on back. And yes, they managed to get a lot of map control and actually a fair, decent foot on the map and on the bomb site. But this utility just pushes them right on back, forces them to regroup, which, you know, strength in numbers here. But suddenly, TSM, they've just worked themselves back into these wonderful crossfires. Bungie going to take initial contact, actually bites off more than she can chew. Mads is hearing all the commotion. They are going to clear her, but they are burning alive as well on their own Molotov, mind you. And Yuli wants to stop that bomb even going down, but unfortunately distracted by the fact that there's a player in connector as well and all left to Lin. And suddenly, we talked about these rounds getting scary. Even this, I think, is a bit too far for them. But she lines them up, doesn't quite stop the defuse, but gets the first. The issue is going to be dealing with Ash in connector. She's got Jessica down pinned, but that's the issue, is can't get both.
Especially when you run out of bullets.
Yep, that doesn't help. Bullets,
yeah, you do need to reload at some point, but when you're in the heat of the battle, I do understand. You sometimes do not. I mean, I feel like their mid-round shot here for TSM, refortifying this A site. It did really well. We had a lot of aggressive peaks, though, from Shimmer. I feel like I keep calling them something different. It's either TSM, Shimmer, shimmy, ya.
Can we get some shimmy yays in the chat? I'm not looking. I'm sure there's some already, you know.
Shimmy, ya.
It's gonna be stuck in my head all week now.
Yeah.
Now, what is gonna be stuck in Nouns' head is if they give away this series in such a manner. That's not gonna be an easy one to come back from. Lunari, I like this Molotov. It's a little bit too deep to deal with Mad. She is only on the Deagle, so if the 2 of them decide to peek, or even if they just drop out the window, that might cause some problems. But the issue is they haven't cleared her. She doesn't know what to do. She lines up the first, not quite able to find Tori. That would have been a huge second pick. And actually, Yuli had the angle, wasn't able to get the job done. And now relying on Bungie to try fight her way out of A to come and join them on B. But they've picked up these weapons, and I think they might just be wanting to hold on to them for now.
Oh.
Timing. No.
Yeah, the timing. I mean, if she was just holding that for quite literally a millisecond longer, it could have at least been another gun taken away. A consolation pick. Oh. It's been a while. It's been a while since Bungie's been in the game.
quick observers, look at someone else. We didn't see anything. Don't let her know that we saw. There we go.
Hey, what's up, Tori? What's going on? Oh, let's see this jump. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Parkour in its finest. Yeah, we've all failed the jump. We've all done it. Don't lie to ourselves about this.
Jump.
The one that I can't do the bench to catwalk. The jumps to catwalk. I can't do any of the jumps to catwalk. I need to pay Z more. I'm awful at movement. This here, right? If Mads had got the kill onto Tori, different round altogether. That's an entirely different round. But alas, not how the cookie crumbles, not how the chips fell. And Nouns FE, they're closing the gap a little bit. They're trying to stem the bleeding. They've still got a little bit of a way to go before I call it a comeback. But they're at least trying to keep TSM off of map point. And the fact that there's not really much supporting this AWP, they should be awarded this round fairly easily if they can dispatch of Die. And the fact that Die's got no utility to help out with, you know, they've got plenty to flush her out. As long as they can successfully deal with her and not let her have another moment of extraordinary brilliance for the highlight reel, then they should be a-okay.
They could get pinched here really easily. I liked the setup, but without Die there to help Mads out, is going to fall. A little bit of damage onto Lunari, and she's just kind of throwing shots at fish in a barrel. Tori finding that kill. We do have an AK still on TSM, and it's on Bungie. Player that we've seen go crazy with it. But Tori is on a tear of 3K so far, and Yuli's going to pick up this AK and try and save it, but she is so close to sight. Might as well go ahead and see what she can do.
Yeah, I don't have a feeling.
I think she's timing them. I think they have an inkling of where she could be.
Yeah,
I think more CT, but a little bit of damage, but nothing's going to connect.
I think they had an idea that she was somewhere, but they had, of course, I can't remember who it was, they had someone looking through Suicide, just making sure that she wasn't running over towards B, and I think that if they hadn't found it as that bomb time got a little closer, they were definitely in a position to clear out the whole of CT and take away that weapon. But yeah, they weren't sure exactly where she was, they had an idea. And difficult round there, that weapon wasn't going to be allowed to leave that round either way. But now it's going to be a full buy on either side. I say full buy, actually. We are seeing one important, very expensive piece of weaponry missing for the side of TSM here. Not quite able to afford to put Die back on the AWP. She's brilliant on the rifles anyway.
Double push through.
Brilliant with the rifles. Yeah,
brilliant with it is going to be Nouns. LX trying to just hold on to this kill. Is going to take it. Ash not allowed any more this round, and that's perfect move from Bungie. 2K now almost making it a 3, switching to the USP, and that is the entire team of Nouns cleared out. What a palace lurk from her. You can just see her dancing and jumping, and this is now map and series point for TSM.
In my mind, I was like, there's no way that she does this. Okay, maybe she gets the initial pick because somebody's fumbling around with utility. Cool, but there's still 2 more players on site with a crossfire on her exact location. Oh, no, my friends. That is not how that round played out. And a timeout being called here. I like this, and I'm not sure whether it's to let the nerves calm down, because after a clutch like that, the adrenaline is running. I know a lot of players, a lot of the professional players, they talk about how they get the shakes after moments like that. They just need a second to calm down. Or, I've also seen it talked about in recent times at the pro level, calling a timeout after a clutch like that just to drive the point home. And maybe it's a little bit BM, but it's moments like that where you need to celebrate and you need to let your opponent stew in it. Because at the end of the day, this is a mental game as well. And I think they absolutely need to celebrate a clutch like that. That's got to be one of the plays of the day. Surely.
We have a lot of good plays of the day. I'm excited for it. And this is it. This is Nouns having to do something. It's now or never. It's Nouns or never. Ellis really pushed up in apartments with this op. Die is back on it as well. They're just poking and prodding here, seeing what they can get done. First picks, not going really quickly like we saw them a little bit earlier. Trying to wait out TSM and wait for their aggression.
Yeah, waiting out the aggression definitely seems to be working for them right now. A lot of utility, however, has been expended in the process. Just trying to draw out more of this utility. They've successfully done so.
TSM getting a lot of information, at least, from this jump here from Ash. And so still gonna give Nouns a bit more info as they rotate their way. Tori trying to activate out of A main, but I don't think she's ready for what is awaiting. Bungie hiding. Mad's underneath bow. Kamali used for CT.
The timer as well. They've got 20 seconds to get this done and a whole full site to contend with.
They haven't gotten anything this round. No kills. Die is just waiting. Mad's activated. Now Bungie as well. And that's everyone except Catalyst trying to shoot it, but it's going to be Die. And that's TSM taking the second map and the series win away from Nouns. We had question marks. We had doubts, and they proved us wrong.
Holy moly, what a series. This roster shouldn't be this